I'm here with FreeBalanceClasses.com. So in today's video, I'm actually answering somebody's question because I posted a lot of videos lately in our video series about floor work, right? So we learned a few things about floor work, and in one of those videos, or I guess maybe a couple, I mentioned the fact that every belly dancer tends to develop a certain routine that she calls her floor routine, which is basically a combination of a bunch of moves put together in a way that transitions very well, and that works for that person's body type and, you know, and abilities and limitations. Obviously, we have back problems, we have quad problems, you have knee problems, you name it. So everybody kind of develops their own little routine, and you just kind of basically find yourself doing the same routine a lot, with little modifications here and there. So anyways, the question I got was, what is your floor routine? And I had to think about this a little bit, but then I did, and I thought, do I actually have one? But then I thought, actually I kind of do. When I go down on the floor, I usually do about the same thing. So I thought, let me share my floor routine with you, okay? Usually when I go down on the floor, and I showed you guys in the series of videos that we did about floor work, I showed you how to get down to the floor, different ways. But my favorite way is always a lunge, and I told you that before in those videos. You basically just kind of do a cross and lunge down, or you can do like a side kick and a cross and lunge down. I lost my balance here, that's why I put my hand down. But usually I would do something like a side kick, like if it is a strong beat, and then go down like that. But I always, whatever I do, I land in a lunge, okay? Just because I like it, I have much more control, you know, and if I make any mistakes or I lose balance like I just did, I can always save it, you know. There are other ways to go down, like usually if the music is really slow, I'll kind of go down with like a Maya, 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 and then just kind of drop down like this, okay? So whatever I do, I find myself eventually in a kneeling position, whether it's a lunge or not. From a kneeling position, I always try to take time to do some isolation movements of the hips from the kneeling position. So I'll do things like figure eights, you know, like this Egyptian figure eights, and then I'll switch it up to some Mayas. And then after that, I would do some hip circles, and sometimes I would travel sideways like this with them, okay? And then I'll center myself back again after a few, and then I'll do a big hip circle, and I'll kind of use my hair up like that, and then come up, do maybe a little chest shimmy, and then I'll try to hold it like this, where I do like a little twist if the beat picks up. But if the beat doesn't pick up in my song, or it doesn't have a good beat for that, I won't do that, okay? And that's about it, like right here. Sometimes I even like hold and do maybe like a little, you know, chest shimmies and chest circles. So basically I do isolation moves first. And then from that I go down to the side plank position. So I kind of go down maybe to like a big circle like that and hold it, okay? So from here, I'll get up on my side plank, which I can do like this on my knees, which is the easiest way, obviously, especially if you have shoulder problems like I do. I have like a bad left shoulder. But I always, for some funny reason, I always find myself on my left shoulder. So I kind of hold my weight down with my knee, and then I lift my foot like this. And then I'll just kind of really slow down, do some arm movements first, like that. And then I will just pick up my foot up, and then I'll do like a side shimmy while I'm moving my hands, usually like that. Okay, and then I'll just kind of do some undulation like that with my leg up. Okay. And then from here, I would usually do like a turn. So like I would put my hands down like this, especially when I'm using the sword, like to keep my head up. And then I would turn around with the sword actually still in my hand. I won't move my head too much, but. And then from here, I'll end up in this reverse plank position like that. And then I would usually do like a flutter from here. So nice take deep breath, and then just flutter, and then I'll finish it up with some waves. I really don't have a long body, so waves for me are hard from this position because I'm totally locked. And then from here, I would usually come down again to this side plank position like that, and then I go down on my knees, and then I go sideways from a kneeling position, and then I would do things like, you know, back bend. So I try to open my knees out just a little bit more from here, and then I would go back you know, I'll start with like just a simple, kind of depending on how my lower back feels at that time. I could just go this far. If I feel okay, then I will go maybe a little bit further down. Or if I'm totally warmed up, I'll go even further down. I'll go all the way. And then I'll come up again. I'll do maybe a couple of those. And then sometimes if I feel really good, my back is not that bad, and I'm warmed up, I'll go all the way down to the floor and drop. And then I'll do like a series of moves from the floor. So I'll go all the way down and then hold it right here. And I would slide, I would bring my hands in right here so I have enough support. And then I would just slide my hip up. And then I would do things like hip twists. And then maybe a flutter. And then from here, I would just push up and come all the way up. And then bring it back usually to the center facing my audience. And then I would do from here different, you know, hip isolation movements again. Maybe some big hip circle. And from there, I will try to do a nice big lunge. Okay, and then I'll try to walk around with a lunge. And there's different ways you can walk around from a kneeling position, or do like a crawl. You can do like the lunge like that. And then bring it together. And then lunge. Drop the knee down. So you lunge and then you drop the knee down. I showed you guys how to do these moves. And then bring it together. And then lunge. Bring it together. Or if my knees are not feeling good, like if I've been running a lot, I would do something like the side, like this one, the side kneeling, like this move. And then, so you basically bend the knee and then drop it, and then together, bend the knee, drop together, knee drop together, knee drop together. And then kind of move around with my knees, whether it's crawling or not. My knees are not feeling the best right now, so I'm not doing this right for you. But I do the knee crawling thing, which I showed you how to do it in 2 different ways in that video series, so make sure you go back there. So, and then I come back, I find myself back again to the center, and then I do some isolation movements again. And then from there, usually I would take a nice big lunge, and then I'll make sure that my skirt is off the floor. Just kind of do like a little quick tease with the leg. And really the reason for me is to make sure that my skirt is off the floor so I don't step on it when I come back. And when I'm feeling safe, then I'll come all the way back up, and then I'll finish it with some turns to kind of keep moving, because I find myself down in the same spots when I'm on the floor, so I try to move around a little bit by adding, you know, some turns and some traveling steps when I come up. So that's usually my floor routine. If I do the sword, it could be the same, really exactly the same, except just a little less jerky. I don't drop my head down, so I watch for keeping my head up. But I really do a lot of the same moves, even with sword dancing. Okay, so that's my floor routine. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. I'll see you guys next time in the next video on freeballetdanceclasses.com. Bye.